8 days a week. This is the final entry in this travel. I'm still in San Francisco. I'm leaving tomorrow, but this will be my final day. I'm in North Beach, San Francisco now. This happens. I have parking karma. It's a real thing. I don't know if it's being a San Francisco native or whatever, but happened in Seattle too. So just to give you an idea here, I just wanted to come to Cafe Trieste in North Beach. There's Cafe Trieste right there. I found a space right here, literally kitty corner. This is San Francisco, the hardest friggin' city to park, maybe next to Manhattan, New York City. So we're gonna have a little coffee morning here. I'm gonna go by Graffeo, pick beans up to take home. I have 2 or 3 people on the list that want beans from Graffeo, their dark roast beans. You can mail order them, but it's more fun to get them like, as he just takes them out of after roasting them, French dark roast, not the French roast, excuse me, the Italian roast, dark roast. They also have a light roast, and they do half and half where they blend the dark and lights. But you'll see that a little later. So, North Beach, baby. Those of you who've been watching me for a while know I always record this sign when I'm here. Upper Grant Avenue, North Beach, Italian neighborhood for the most part. But this was part of the whole Beat Generation thing. But you've seen this picture. The one-way wasn't there. It was, I think, from the other angle, but the sun is not right for the other angle. Jim Marshall, photographer, took this for the cover of that Grant Green album on Blue Note Records. Streets of something? Streets of Fire, what is it called? Streets of Dreams, I think it's called. Anyway, this is North Beach, Upper Grant Avenue, San Francisco.
I'll never forget that.
I come here for your dark roast because in Seattle they like that wimpy mid-roast stuff.
That light roast, acidic as all get out. They don't know how to do
Yeah.
that.
Tell me about your dark roast and why is it better?
Well, it's not a question of better. It's different. It's roasted very specifically to a specific temperature with very specific roasting devices, and it is a particular blend. You know, we've been working on that for many years. Well, we started here in 1935.
Oh, 1930. Ooh, okay.
We've been
1930.
here a long time.
In this location?
Exactly.
And then you have the one in San Rafael.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been around a long time.
I know. I love my favorite. Every time I come here, my friends say, will you pick me some up?
See,
So,
they have good, they know.
yep.
They know.
I always like the dark roast whole beans. You only have dark,
Or
light, and half, and then you have one decaf,
Well,
right?
we have water process decaf, yeah.
Got it.
All right.
So we're at Tunnel Records. I was here like a couple times in the last couple of years,
Yeah,
but
what's up, Massey?
this has been. It's great. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. But what I heard that you had a second record store over in the old next to the 4-Star Theater.
Within the 4-Star Theater.
Within it, yeah. And we're going to show you that after this. But it was beautiful. Tell me about that, because when I was a kid, I went to the 4-Star
Yeah,
Theater.
1913 it was built.
Well, I'm not that old, but
Yeah.
yeah. But in the 60s and 70s, you know, I'd go that movie. I remember, the one I remember for some reason when I drove by it, I saw the original Thomas Crown Affair there when
Oh,
it
wow.
came out.
Yeah.
Faye Dunaway and whoever.
Yeah.
But so tell me about that situation, because the theater is you totally gutted
It's great. It's so Adam Bergeron and his wife Jamie, they have run that space, the theater itself, under their company Cinema SF for some. Actually, not, they took it over after the pandemic. During the pandemic, it actually closed. It had been kind of an Asian focused cinema for some time, and it closed due to the pandemic. And when it reopened, it was purchased by a private investor who redid the whole thing, and then Adam and Jamie took over the programming. And I've known him through the shop as a customer for years. And you saw where the shop is. It's in what was at one time the very small second theater. It's 650 square feet.
I don't even remember. That must have been added way later, the second theater.
I think in the 60s, 70s maybe even 80s, when they were partitioning off some theaters to go from.
Probably late 70s, 80s. Yeah.
But Adam had been doing kind of pop-up art galleries and stuff out of there, and he kind of pitched me this crazy idea about opening a record store in there at one time, and we both kind of, the more we talked about it, we thought, this isn't crazy.
Who would have thought about, for a good business plan, open a record store, right?
Yeah, and so we both, the more we talked about it, the more interesting and successful we thought it could be. And we do shared programming in the theater itself. So we've had, in the last couple months, the Flaming Groovies, Tommy Guerrero, Robin Hitchcock came through, some amazing rock and roll documentaries.
Wow.
We had a great New Year's show with Sunny in the Sunset, so we're just building up the program.
And I want to ask you about some wall records. And the first one I want to ask you about, just because Light in the Attic sent me a bunch of stuff in the last few months.
Where you're going,
yeah, of course you know.
Yeah.
And I got mocked a little bit for that, because I was, I love this record, and I didn't know it. That was sampled. And let's talk about Pete Jolly.
Oh, I love this record. I'm a huge fan. Yeah,
But that's an original.
It is an original.
And it's not an expensive record now, is it? Oh, that's a
no. This is top dollar, $250. That's top
okay.
dollar. It generally trades between $150 to $2.
And that's a white label promo.
It is, yeah. It's a great label, great record. Herb Alpert's label. My opinion of a lot of the Japanese jazz, and this album might fall into that category. It's beautifully played. It's amazing music, but some of it I find that they're a little too true to what they might have been hearing at the time, and not unique enough. I don't feel that doesn't go straight across the board. Like some of these Japanese jazz records here, like Bamboo, is just a beautiful record. Koto flute, jazz funk. You'll never hear anything like that was recorded in the U.S. Green Caterpillar, Masuro Imada, is like heavy jazz funk. It's just a beautiful, great record. So it's not across the board, but a lot of the Three Blind Mice stuff, which is very well regarded because it was just recorded so beautifully, in my opinion, some of that material isn't mind-blowing.
Great.
But that's just that's a nerdy opinion. I can't say that's.
Let's talk about a little rock and roll stuff. You got Easter Everywhere, 13-4 Elevator, of course.
Gotta have that.
Oh my God, look at that one. Of course.
Yeah, that's a beautiful record. I happen to have all three of the 13-4 Elevators records now, which is never.
That's really good.
That's not usual for myself.
I don't have originals at all. I have that. I guess in the early '80s, that international box set that came out.
That sounds good.
It's great. It has the entire catalog. Of everything.
Yeah. I love this Flying Burrito Brothers record too.
Of course.
That's a great one.
Of course.
This is kind of a funny one. The band Sleep has done all these
Third Man
gimmicky records where they inlay marijuana.
Of course they do.
So 420's coming up, so we gotta have that.
Yeah, of course. All right.
But yeah, there's always, and I'll rotate stuff out. There's this is a lot of interesting wall stuff, Australian AC/DC. This is a post-punk band. Great new age music from Wilbur and Burchett. Of course, we know that. Yeah. Classic.
I just found a copy of that.
Yeah. It's another fun blues rock. This is really weird private press hard rock.
For whatever reason, I remember my parents taking me, I think it was my parents, to take me here to see the Thomas Crown Affair, the original one, four-star theater. It's been transferred, renovated. Now they have old movies, some live shows, and an annex of Tunnel Records opened here. I didn't realize that. The four-star theater. Here's a list of upcoming events. This is out on Clement Street in the outer Richmond, San Francisco. Four-star theater. Let's check it out.
Cool spot.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Take it later.
Have a good one.
So this is the end of the road of this San Francisco trip. I'm here in the outer Sunset, and it's been great. Tunnel Records, two great stores. Boy, that little theater, I wish you could have seen inside the theater, but that little record store there is great. Ben has a real nice aesthetic and a great series of jazz records and other rock and some rarities there too. But of course, grabbing a Graffeo coffee, my favorite coffee bean. It's a guilty pleasure when I come down here, and something I enjoy grabbing and bringing to some. I get orders, believe me. Orders are given to me. But I do want to say one thing. I greatly appreciate the support and the comments over the last 8 days of these road trips down from Seattle through Oregon into California and San Francisco. And, you know, the press has sort of attacked San Francisco for their liberal ways. And San Francisco's always been sort of a liberal leaning city politically, as well as aesthetically, musically, culturally, but it's a friggin' great city. Now, you know, whether you're on the left or the right, that's a ridiculous way to talk about what's going on in the city. I bet you within 50 miles of where you live, and even maybe in 10 miles, there's neighborhoods and sections that are messed up, and a lot of people who either are homeless or are addicted to drugs and fentanyl, and that's a national, pretty much of a world problem, but it's atrocious, the mental health situation in America. And San Francisco has become a poster child for left-wing liberal ways, and it's not that. You come here and you can have a great time here. Not to say that help is needed here. Where I am in Seattle, same type of thing. You go to certain areas, but I've been to Texas, I've been to New York, I've been to Virginia, I've been to Minneapolis, I've been to Chicago, I've been to all the places. You go to certain neighborhoods, there's always some issues there. So don't hesitate. If you've never been to California and San Francisco, there you go, a Tesla, no doubt. Come to San Francisco, come to California, come to the West Coast. Drive up, if you have the time, drive up from Southern California, up Highway 1, it's really slow, or 101, through Santa Barbara, through Big Sur, Santa Cruz, up through San Francisco, Marin County, Muir Woods, the great redwoods, up to the Oregon coast to Washington, Seattle. Say hi in Seattle, up to British Columbia. But it's a wonderful place. Thank you again. Put your comments here, and once I get home and rested, we'll have more music and more records. So again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe, do all those good things. Mazzy loves you. Take care.